So today is Friday.
250 meters. Turn in 39 meters. Turn left to stay on red Embers Link.
And
then at the stop sign, turn left.
it was a payday.
At the stop sign, turn left.
And the last paycheck was $300 at least, less than it typically is. So it was disappointing. And so I was eager to see what's going to happen this time. Guess what? This time it's $100 less.
Meters. Turn left on 128 Avenue Northeast.
So it's $100 less than last time. So I'm driving to work. Got up at 5:45 as usual, and I'm in bad spirits because there's no money, and I borrowed a few bucks from a friend, so I have to give out of this low paycheck that I just got. I have to send 170 bucks to my friend because I promised. And so I'm driving and I'm thinking, and so I show up there, and I know that my boss, the dispatcher, he shows up at exactly, I don't know how he does it, but he shows up exactly at 6:30, and we open our equipment rental place. We open at 6:45, but we have to check in before 6:45, like clock in.
500 meters at the roundabout. Take the second exit on 128 Avenue Northeast.
And so I parked next to the spot where he parks his truck, and I waited for him. Like I was there like at 6:25, so I waited for him, and then he shows up, and I'm standing, and he looks at me kind of like surprised, and I say, "Can I take a day off today?" I really caught him off guard because yesterday when I was leaving, he says there's not that much work. Like everything is for like 9 a.m. delivery. Not usually the first ones we deliver, equipment and machinery, either in a freight liner, or a pickup truck, diesel pickup truck. It's the first window we give them is like 7 to 9 because we don't give them exact time. It's 7 to 9, 8 to 10, kind of like that. 9 to 11, we give them 2 hours. 2-hour window, and he says there's nothing for 7 to 9.
Roundabout. Take the second exit on 128 Avenue Northeast.
Everything is after 9, and so I thought, hey, if they're not too busy, like there's 2 more drivers, like we have 3 drivers, there's 2 more. If it's not busy,
exit the roundabout on 128 Avenue Northeast.
Wow. If it's not
250 meters at the roundabout. Take the first exit on Cornerstone Boulevard Northeast.
I have never taken or missed a single day in 2 years. And now I volunteered to work 6 days a week, Monday through Saturday. So the other driver always takes off Monday. And this guy that we used to alternate, like every second Saturday.
Exit the roundabout. In 500 meters, turn left on Cornerstone Avenue Northeast.
And so I did the first, and so he said, let me check the paperwork, see how many, because I think a lot of orders came in for delivery and pickup late night. And so he went to his computer, he says, man, there's like 10 deliveries already on the computer that have not been printed out yet. And I'm thinking, man, he'll make me work. But then he says, well, I could use you, but if you want to take a day off,
sign, turn left.
If you want to take a day off, I cannot say no. And I'm like, wait, so I can take a day off anytime I want? But I said, thank you, sir, thank you so much. So please, I'll call you before the end of today to ask about tomorrow, because tomorrow's Saturday, so I'm supposed to work usually. But when it's not too busy, they're telling me not to come.
In 250 meters, arrive at the pickup.
So anyway, so he let me go, and that area is industrial near the airport. I know there's nothing there, so I came back home, just changed into my fancy heated jacket, and dropped off the boots. I had these gym boots in here, so to make space, and got the first ride. A guy with kids was going 1 kilometer to a daycare, and then he booked me again to go back after he dropped off the kids, and it's basically right next to my home. And so now I went home and they gave me somebody else, so now I'm just waiting here for this, my next victim, somewhere here. Where's this? Yeah, I think it's this one. And I searched on Google because Lyft already put me in, caused me some trouble, because I uploaded a video from this dash cam when I was doing Lyft, and they were very upset. And so now I went on Google and I said, can you show video online from when you do Uber? And Google AI says, well, if you do, that might lead to deactivation. So we're gonna turn off the camera now. Yeah, just dropped off my Lyft customer near Cross-Iron Mills. She was going to work because this is a big industrial area. And when I was 1 minute away, I resumed Uber. And as I'm driving, looking for her building, Uber says, customer 2 kilometers away. Look at this. Peterbilt. People still drive these monsters. And that's why I started, dashcam, because usually there's some nice trucks here. It's a very super busy industrial area. See, on the left we have a K-Whopper T800 with walking, what they call it? Walking tail. Like his whole trailer tilts. And so the girl was, yeah, that was the girl the Lyft gave me. Very pretty man. So I like this much better than delivering machinery, to be honest with you, because machinery is not pretty, right? It's interesting, it's fun. I love operating skid steers, excavators, but here you gotta talk. You can talk to people. You meet some super interesting characters. Okay, I think it's this one here.
Turn left on Wagon Wheelway.
So I bet, like normally I was prepared to drive back to my area, because normally this is dead, because it's all industrial, right? And I'm here. So when people go to work, like this girl, I picked her up near my place, which is residential, right? Lots of houses, lots of apartment buildings, and she's going to work. So now we in this industrial area, so there's nothing here unless somebody's coming back from a night shift. And I'm pretty sure that's what's happening here. And sure, the first guy, the dad was 2 small kids. They were very cute, maybe like, I don't know, 3-4 years old. He put the car seat in the back there, and we just went 1 kilometer to daycare. He unloaded them, and then I see it says complete Uber X, and the guy told me that he wants me to take him back, and I said, wait, my app says, look at this guy. Can we do it a bit faster, maybe? Are you out of fuel or something? What's going on? Oh, he's looking at his phone or something. And so that guy, he says, yeah, we're coming back, but he did not book the trip. And I said, wait, I see here that once I click this, the trip is complete, so I'm not taking you back. And this guy says, oh, it's okay, I'm doing this every day. I'm just gonna, because you're the closest to me, I'm just gonna book you right away. And I said, I never saw people do this. I said, you know that you can do a stop, right? And he says, a stop? I said, yeah, you can put, when you program the trip, You can say daycare is stop one, and then the final destination is your home. And he says, oh, I can do that? I said, yeah. Oh, thank you so much. So now you see, well, actually, yeah, when he was walking back after he dropped off the kids, and he got in and he booked a trip, boom, right away. Uber gave me this trip. It says your customer is 100 meters away. He's already sitting in my car, which was funny. But anyway, at least now he knows not to do that, because I said, hey, if they, like, you're sitting here, I'm waiting, and Uber says finding trips. If they give me somebody else, I will have to leave you here, But he got lucky, so they gave me his trip. And oh, wait a second. So I know this place. We take our trucks here for service. This it's a Freightliner dealer. Is it this one or next one? I think it's this one. But that's a church.
Then pick up Balzac Service New West Truck Centers.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this is the one. I come here all the time. All right, so we got it. So yeah, that passenger I picked up near Cross-Island Mills after I dropped off that gorgeous lady. Turns out, yeah, he was a driver. He basically brought a truck for repairs for his company, and he just needed a ride to go back pretty much to the same area where I work. There's a beer distributor over there, and that's where he left his truck. And we started chatting, so I was asking him questions about the job, because he drives a semi-truck. And hey, I'm a class 1 driver too, And so I brought him to the beer place, and then they gave me this young kid here. He was 3 kilometers away from where I dropped off the driver. So I went and grabbed this guy, and so now we're on the other side of the airport, basically. It's Matty Trail, just north of McKnight. So the guy was going to work. Or maybe it's like a college or something, some kind of financial place. Oh yeah, and I'm across the street from on the other side of 36. To my left. On the other side, I see flags. I know what that is. There's a large grocery store there. There's a bunch of restaurants. There's a bunch of stores, but it's only 8:31. So I started at 7 o'clock, pretty much. So I'm at $11.59 with Lyft, which is actually surprisingly good. Normally they don't pay that well, because that was that girl from my area. So it was 9.4 kilometers, you see, and it paid $11.59. So even Uber would pay only maybe $9. So that means there was some kind of a surcharge. Oh, it was a 50% turbo. Yeah, 50%. So base was $7.35. They paid me 50% turbo, which is their way of saying surcharge, $3.68, and then 57 cents GST, and that's it. $11.59. Wow, 50% turbo. That's why I took this, because Lyft shows you where the customer is, where they're going, the distance, and how much it pays, so you can make a proper decision, calculated decision whether to accept the ride or not. And Uber is threatening to do the same. Like I mentioned this, they send us I was still recording, yeah. They send us a survey. Would you like to see this? Of course I would, like, because right now, as you guys probably know, I only see the name of the guy, let's say Brian, 3 kilometers away. That's all I know. And then when I click picked up, when the guy's in my car, only then I see where he's going. And I have no idea what it pays. When I drop him off, I slide that thing, drop complete Uber X trip, Then in a couple of seconds, I see the number at the top of the screen that shows how much I made. And then actually Uber, they show you the actual breakdown. Because, yeah, Lyft does not tell you how much money they keep. It just says base pay is this. That's already after their commission. So they don't tell you, you know. But they do tell you up front how much you'll make. But Uber is honest about this, even though you don't see, you know, the pay up front and where you're going. But then when you drop off the passenger, it shows you they always take 25%. It's a service fee. So let's say I can see what the customer paid. Let's say the customer paid $30, and then it says service fee 25%. Boom, this, and that's what you get. But they say if they introduce this full disclosure, where they show kind of like Lyft, right, where they show you the distance, what it pays, then their service fee will vary. So it can be more than 25%. So of course they're not gonna lose money. So these guys always make money. I carry all the expenses, right? Fuel, tires, maintenance, oil changes. They cut their coupon, 25% coupon of each ride. What are their expenses? Of course, technology, the computer system, right? The app. They search for, you know, loads, rides. It's their system, right? Without them, I don't have anything, except that I did print some cards. You know, if somebody asks me for a card, you know, let's say if I pick up somebody more than once, like for example in my area, I picked up one girl 3 times, and she already recognizes me, and she says, "Where's your white car?" I said, "Well, this one is better on gas." I said, "I have 2 cars." "Oh, but that one is so nice, so big." So she liked that Durango. So I could give her my phone number, and I could do like a private ride, you know. Just give her a rate, maybe like $1 cheaper than what she pays, you know, and then she can send me like an Interac email transfer. As we're driving, she said, "Okay," you know. That's what some people do. Because yeah, okay, 25% is fair, but probably should be like 10. But if they take more than 25%, let's say if they start taking 35, 40%, then it's not good. And why are we not doing anything now? So let me check the. Oh wow, check this out. That's, you see, all is red. The entire Calgary is high earnings potential. But as usual, quite often this means nothing. So you'll be sitting there, high earnings potential, everything is red on the map, but you get no rides. Like I've been sitting here, talking for 10 minutes now? Just drop off the guy over there. You're online. Yeah, I know I'm online. Just give me something. So I started saying that, yeah, I made so $11 with Lyft and $30 with Uber. You see, like actually Lyft, sometimes they pay more in terms of per ride. So I had one ride and I made $11. Here I did 4 trips with Uber and I made $30. You know, so Uber somehow is shorter rides. You know, seems like. And so 30 plus 11, 40. $40 in 90 minutes. Should have been better. So from 7 till 8:30. Well, because I had to go home, right? I started at the airport. There was nothing there. Well, let's say 7:30. Actually, wait. I can see when did I. Okay, I click earnings activity, and that guy with 2 kids. 7:02. It shows me when I started. And by the way, that ride, it was 1 kilometer from his home. Like he was like 200 meters away from me, so that was nothing. I picked him up with 2 kids, took him to the daycare 1 kilometer away, and it paid $3.16. Of course, no tip. And then I took him back to the same place. It was $3.08 now for some reason, so 8 cents cheaper. But still, I made $6 for maybe 15 minutes of work. So which is like what, $24 an hour? Should have been more. Should have been 10 bucks for 1 kilometer. You know, then you can get rich. And then that one, the driver that I picked up over there, it was 12 kilometers, and Uber paid me $12.05. Oh, by the way, how much did the guy pay? Let's see. Opening the screen. So the guy paid $16.44. Uber kept 25%, $4.11. And that's what it is, 16 minus 4, and then there's some GST deducted, added, and so 12 bucks. So roughly always it's $1 per kilometer, more or less. Unless there's a big surcharge. See, like with Lyft sometimes you get very good deals, you know. And this last one was $11.64 for 10.7 kilometers. So basically, you have to do 200 kilometers or 120 miles to gross 200 bucks. And 200 kilometers, that I would burn roughly 20 liters of gas. And gas today is $1.31 times 20. So 200 kilometers would cost me 26 bucks just in gas. So, which is okay. I was thinking of taking the Durango, but that one has, because my pay now is even lower than last time, right? And I still have to send money to my friend, what I borrowed. So, and that Durango has like 100-liter tank. 100-liter tank. So I thought, you know what, I'll stick with this. Actually, when I was going to work, I topped up the tank on this one, so it was full. Well, it shows now a surcharge at Airport Trail and 36, which is back, like there's nothing here. Well, there's a bunch of hotels here, south of me and west of me. But you see, I've been sitting here talking and there's nothing, even though it's like high earnings potential. Everything is red. So sometimes they like when you start moving. So yeah, I don't want to sit here, you know, it's, but the thing with these, yeah, see, like this one, see, that's a red area, that's a surcharge. So if you get a ride in that area, you can see like extra couple of bucks, depends how busy they are. But I really could use a washroom, so we'll just start driving down there, up there. Because sometimes Uber, for some reason, if you parked, you're not getting any rides. You know, once you start moving, you're kind of like around the block. Well, it can be also because maybe like that particular spot where you parked has some kind of a connectivity issue, you know, like a internet problem, you know. Okay, Lyft says you're invited to go to Express Match. Basically, that's at the airport, so they want me to go there. They want me to go to the airport, which is straight ahead of me, but it's like 5 kilometers from here to get to the waiting lot. So no, we'll just go back north on 36. You see on the right there's a Radisson hotel. There's a bunch of restaurants here, but again, I delivered machinery here for my equipment rental company quite a few times when they were working on these units here on the right. Okay, see, like Lyft is giving me something. Drive 4 kilometers, pick up a guy, and then drive another 4 kilometers, and we'll pay you $6. Screw you. Or I see a bunch of snow plows cleaning the runway. 1, 2, 3, 4. Holy mackerel. 4 huge snow plows, and they're followed by a pickup truck with a flashing light. So I guess that the okay, UberX, perfect. 6 minutes away, no name, 3.7 kilometers.
Head to your pickup at 8967 46th Street Northeast.
You see, I started driving, it gives me a ride. So basically, yeah, that's what I do now, and that's my advice to. Okay, so now we have to cancel Lyft because Lyft doesn't have a pause button, so I just click go offline. But the app is still open, it's just now I'm offline. So the tip, usually I don't move, you know, when I drop somebody, I just go away so that I don't look like creepy, like a guy sitting next to their home where I drop them off. No, I just go around the block where there's some nice, look at this guy. Are you freaking nuts? Like, there's nobody there, right? Why are you crossing in front of me? What a moron. Now look at this. I saw this. So 2 cars on the left in the deep ditch. You see this? 1 and then 2. And so now we have these 2 tow trucks. They're trying to get them out. So now there's going to be a traffic jam here. Oh wow, they blocked the road. Look at that. So 1 truck is over there. They blocked the road because, yeah, there's nowhere to go. Well, this 1 lane is open, but they're going to be sitting probably across the street to pick them up, you know, across the road. Yeah, still green. Okay, yeah, see, they're sending everybody this way. So yeah, I
600 meters, turn right on 88th Avenue Northeast.
So the way I do it, when I drop somebody off, just like with this guy, right? I drop him off at that college or financial company or whatever. I just drove like 100 meters. I see parking allowed, so I park behind the truck, you know, boom. But then usually that's what I do, right? So I don't drive empty like 10 kilometers. But if nothing happens, 10-15 minutes, I start moving.
Right on 88th Avenue Northeast.
I start moving towards a residential area. Like for example, when I drop that gorgeous young lady near Cross-Iron Mills, it's too early for shoppers, right? There's nobody there at the shopping center at 7:30 in the morning. And so what I would do in that case, like I was saying, that unless there's somebody coming back from a night shift, so there's a very low chance of getting passengers over there because it's all industrial area. So same happened a few days ago. I ended up somewhere in southeast Calgary. I brought the guy to work, and it's all warehouses. Again, who's gonna call Uber from a warehouse at 6 in the morning? It was like real early.
600 meters, turn left on 46th Street Northeast.
And so what I do is I just start driving towards a residential area. You know, when I see on the map where houses are, right? So that's why I started driving here. I would even go towards my home area. But you see, as soon as I started driving, they give me a ride. Or another trick I do also, because I carry a couple of bags, like shopping, you know, insulated bags. I have a Doordash app, and like that time when I was in that southeast, I started Doordash, and it moved me to a residential area, and I still made a bit of money, you know. So I picked up, where was it, Starbucks, and so I would have driven that. I think it was like pretty far actually, 15 kilometers, like 9 to the Starbucks and then 7 to the customer. But I would have driven that. I was ready to drive that 15 kilometers empty, you know, and I made some, like, what was it, 12 bucks, I think, back then with Doordash. And so, yeah, so you just gotta reposition yourself and get to a better area. It's kind of like very similar to what we have to do as truckers, when I was a trucker. So end up I deliver a load,
Turn left on 46th Street
and
Northeast.
I'm sitting there and there's nothing. Let's say I deliver a load somewhere, I don't know, in Iowa, where there's no shippers, there's no factories, you know, like at the bottom of Iowa somewhere. And then you start, are you guys? No, it wants me to do a U-turn. Okay, it's probably that guy in the corner there. Yeah, I drop off the guy here at Jiffy Lube place, and next door there was Shoppers Drug Mart. I went inside trying to find the washroom, nothing. And then I noticed this, what is this? Burger King. Found this Burger King, went inside,
Turn left, then turn right on 4 Avenue Northeast.
and all their washrooms are locked. And the sign says, of course, for customers only. And I see there's a key hole, so I went back to the cashier, and she says, "Oh, you can go in." And I see that she pushes the button on the wall.
Turn right on 4 Avenue Northeast.
So I'm guessing there's lots of homeless people here or something. But anyway, I went to use the washroom, feeling pretty good for another 10 hours of Uber. And because it's for customers, right? So I went to the counter and said, "Can I get a small cup of coffee, black coffee?" And she says, $1. That's like the cheapest coffee ever. And I sat down, I checked Doordash, the red color disappeared. 5 minutes ago it showed that it was available. But at like 1 minute,
In 300 meters, turn left on Maidstone Drive Northeast.
and they gave me a ride. It says 1 kilometer away, go and pick up Catherine. But the way it's spelled, I know that it's either Russian or Ukrainian. So my late mom was Katerina, so probably Ukrainian.
Turn left on Maidstone Drive Northeast.
I hope she goes far. So that guy that I took to Jiffy Lube, it was $11 for 10 kilometers, and not bad. Okay, Katerina, where are you? Somewhere,
In 300 meters, turn right on Madeira Drive Northeast.
yeah, somewhere after all those trees here. So time now is 9:24. We'll keep going until lunchtime, and then I'm gonna take a break because I want to drive at night, and because I started at 7, you know, Uber limits you to 12 hours. If I drive non-stop,
Turn right on Madeira
they
Drive
will
Northeast.
they will
Then turn
ground
right
me
on
at
Georgia
7
Mills
p.m.
Northeast.
So I want to take a break probably from 11 till 3 because it's gonna be dead anyway. Yeah, that Katerina did turn out to be from Ukraine, and she speaks, you know, fluent English, but then we switched to Russian. It's funny, she says she's from Zaporizhia. And so over there, she says everybody spoke Russian, but after the war started, she says more and more people refused to speak Russian. They started learning Ukrainian, which they never spoke before. It's kind of funny. And she moved here. We were chatting, like, very nice girl. She moved here, and now she says she became a citizen, and so now she's bringing her parents here because she says Zaporizhia, that eastern part of Ukraine, she says there's a lot of bombardment going on. It's dangerous, so she's bringing her parents. And she says her mother speaks a little bit of English, but her father is totally, you know, no English skills, and she's worried how they're gonna cope here. And she went to school and became a hairdresser, and now she says she's doing an apprenticeship. And she was telling me how frustrating it is that they're doing pretty much the same job as the stylists, she calls them, who are, you know, on staff, but they're getting paid like $15 an hour. And so she was going to work, and I was thinking of giving her my card, And I said, you always take Uber? Because she's not far from me over there where I picked her up. I said, you always take Uber to and from work? She says, no. Usually it's my friends give me a ride or my boyfriend. And okay, so I didn't give her my card, but sat there maybe for 5 minutes, and they gave me a guy, and it says 250 meters away. The only problem is it was 250 meters if I go straight, but there was a huge sign said road closed. And they were doing some construction over there. So same street which I was sitting on, 250 meters away was the guy. And I went back to 17th Avenue, so this was already downtown. That's where I dropped off the stylist apprentice on 17th Avenue. And I went back to 17th Avenue, and for some reason I was supposed to turn right or north, and I turned left or south. And Uber right away sends me a message, taking a detour. So now instead of 250 meters, it became 800, and then it became a kilometer. But the good news is that when I went there and clicked pick up, I see it says Uber Comfort. Uber Comfort, because this qualifies as comfort because it's a 2023 Jeep, all leather, nice inside, even though it's dented on the outside from the hailstorm. But Uber Comfort, to give you guys an idea, so the total distance, I took the guy from that location near 17th Avenue to athletic club near the river, and that's where I stopped here. Where this Eau Claire old market used to be. By the way, I just noticed like the building is gone. Holy moly! There was to my left there was a huge building where they used to have like a farmer's market, and now all we see is a parking lot. And then there's a Joey Eau Claire restaurant, and next there's Sheraton, I think, and that athletic club is right next to Sheraton. So nice location. That's basically close to Chinatown. So it was 4 kilometers, 4.11 kilometers, and Uber paid me $7.94. See, big difference. So almost $2 per kilometer. And that's why I always have comfort. But this one, unfortunately, does not qualify for Uber XL. But what pays better than regular Uber X, it's either Uber Comfort or Uber Pet. Uber Pet is great too, and like I mentioned before, like you don't have to be afraid because most of the time people have either small dogs and they keep them on their lap, or it's a cat in some kind of a case. And you don't even see the cat, you just hear her or him meowing, complaining in the car, jerks, jumps on potholes. So it's cool, and it also pays almost same as comfort. Let's say if regular Uber X pays you $10, Uber Pet will pay $15, and Uber Comfort will probably pay like $17. See, like base, let's say, what was the base pay here? This Uber Comfort. So they charged the guy $12, 11.57. Uber took 25. I think it's more than 25. Oh, son of a gun. Uber took 28%. So this is the first time I noticed this. So they take more from Comfort. So the guy paid $11.57. Uber took $3.24. And then there was 39 cents of taxes that they deducted. So I got $7.94. Plus 80 cents in tax. So it's 8.74 with the tax in, but then I have to pay this tax back. Which reminds me, I still haven't done my books for January. Gotta do my profits, expenses for Uber and Lyft, and I gotta send some money to the government. Usually it's like $40-50 I owe them at the end of the month because see, there's tax included. So now it's 10:28 in the morning. We are sitting at $65 on Uber, and the same 11.59 on Lyft. So 60, what did I say, 65, so 78, so pretty much $80. I tried Doordash, but you see I'm in downtown now, that blue dot in there, and it's not red, which means that I cannot push the button dash, because when you're a premium, like what they call them, top dasher, they allow you to start dashing anytime you want, even if the zone shows gray like here. But you see right now what's busy is the Northwest or University, and it says $1 per order. And then north part like Edry, also $1 per order. They add kind of like a bonus. But here there's nothing. In downtown it's not, because you have to find parking. But actually Calgary is pretty friendly, because quite often you can find some loading zone. They allow you to stay up to 20 minutes, so which is perfect. So you can just drop the car, run to the restaurant, pick up your order. I don't know. For some crazy reason, I love doing food. It just feels kind of like, you bring people, happiness. Like, seriously. Whereas Uber passengers, like this guy, comfort guy, because it's comfort, right? So I just played soft music, like soft pop in the background. I didn't bother him with talking, and he was on the phone all the time. And then I dropped him off. I said, "Here's okay. Yeah, thank you. Have a good day." That's it. So he said like 2 words to me during the entire thing. And of course, no tip, because who needs a tip with Uber, right? Nobody. And the problem is that that's me over there in downtown, and you see the earnings potential very low. Well, not very low. It's medium. It's gonna stay like that for another hour, and then you see a spike. So basically now it's 10, 11, 12. So there should be a spike at 12 o'clock over here, which means that, and I usually get early lunch, brunch. So I'm telling you, it makes me feel so happy that I'm free. I'm not stuck in the truck. I don't have to do what dispatch tells me to do. I can push this little coffee mug button anytime, and that's a break, right? I want to take a break, I push that, or I can just click here and push this red button, and that's it, stop. I'll be offline, and all orders will stop. I can go home, drink tequila, and get drunk. I'm just saying. So what I like about this, even though the pay leaves much to be desired, but it's flexible. You can do it anytime. There's no minimum. You can work for 10 minutes. You can work for 10 hours. I love it, honestly. Like, how they say your perfect job? How do you determine if the job you're doing is the best? The best job is the one that you would do for free. That you love it so much that you would do that for free. And honestly, I would. This not the entire day, but I would do it for free. Especially let's say I'm retired. I sit at home staring at the four walls, watching TV, and might as well get out, do something useful, especially when the weather's bad, give people rides so that they don't, freeze to death at the bus stop where the bus broke down. I don't know. It feels like a super useful community service, But and you see, I've been here again, 10-15 minutes, nothing. Now Lyft shows 10% boost, but not where I am, but south and west of me. With 10%, that's kind of like surcharge. On Uber calls it a surcharge. These guys call it turbo boost. And like this morning, I got 50% turbo boost, which was excellent. Now it's 10. I think I might, yeah, I'll wait a little bit more and then I'll take a break, because I want to take a break so that they allow me to do Uber at night, since today's Friday. So I think all the best rides will be. I'm just looking here at the right. Well, after 12, it shows all busy. So until 12, it's dead. So probably what I should do now is, where can I go? We are in Chinatown. Just wanna go have some brunch, some kind of a family restaurant. But not like last time. Last time I don't know what's wrong with me. I made $140, and then I went to an Indian restaurant and I spent $50 because I had a beer, I had some nice food, I left them a tip. So what's the point? I made $140. I left in the bar in the restaurant $50. It's just stupid. So no, yeah, I want to do something more clever this time. I think downtown, parking is an issue all the time here, of course. Okay, where's something like a breakfast place? Well, I'll come up with something. I have to look on the map and see if maybe I'll go north towards 16th Avenue. Over there, there's lots of restaurants and there's lots of parking. But yeah, now would be a good time to take a break because I've been driving since what, 5 hours. No, wait, 7, 3.5 hours. I think I need another coffee. So I was sitting there near Oclea Market, 10-15 minutes. Then Lyft offered me something. Usually I don't take such small rides, so it was like $5. But you see, Lyft tells you all the info. It says $5. Pick up the guy 300 meters away and take him 2 kilometers across the river. And the river is this way, so I'm near basically Memorial Drive. And I'm thinking, okay, see, when the one zone is dead, I'll try to get out and see what else is happening. And so now I just across the river from downtown, and yeah, it was $5.33 for 2 kilometers, which is not bad. Of course, $5. Like I said, normally I don't take such small pay, but then with Uber, I never know, right? Uber does not tell us, but so started at 10:36. Ride accepted, picked up the passenger at 10:38. So yeah, he was like 2 minutes away from me. Dropped him off at 10:43. So 36 to 46, 10 minutes. So less than 10 minutes, I made $5. Why not, right? Didn't burn too much gas. So now we're sitting at $17 on Lyft and 17 and 65. What is that? 65 plus 17. So $82. My gross take from 7 until 10:45. So basically, what is it? 7 to 11, 4 hours, $20 an hour. So yeah. Okay, let's check Doordash. Doordash is still grayed out. I cannot do anything. But here would be a good. Now it's 10:46. So now people probably will start ordering food because it's lunchtime. But for now, I'll just wait a bit and see if I can get to an area where they have some restaurants and go have a break. Well, from downtown, picked up another Russian-speaking girl, but the name can be, Canadian American, can be Russian, and she gets in, she starts speaking Russian because she saw my name, I guess. So from Ukraine, and we were chatting. It was super interesting. So she married a guy from Georgia, Georgia, Soviet Union, and then they moved because of when the war started. They moved first to actually to Georgia. I guess maybe that's where he met him. So they lived in Georgia. They said Georgia is too many immigrants because lots of Russians left Russia when the mobilization was announced, and they all flew to Georgia. And basically, it's packed, too many people. So then they went to Qatar, and they worked there, and it says it was like slavery conditions. You work 6 days, 12 hours a day, and you make $500. And then finally they got a visa to Canada, because now Ukrainians qualify for this visa. It just gives them a right to work, but don't make them a citizen. And I said, so what are you gonna do when your visa ends? And she says, well, we'll probably leave and go somewhere else. But she likes Canada. She says, everybody's polite. No war, no bombs. She likes it here. And so I took her from her apartment near Memorial Drive, near the river, so now I'm actually in a super great area. What it's called? Basically a big shopping center off 64 Avenue. I took her to a gym. And when I saw this, that I was going to this area, originally I thought, man, this is perfect, because I wanted to take a break. And there's IHOP, International House of Pancakes, just around the block from here. But now I'm having doubts, because I remember it was pretty expensive. I don't want to repeat the mistake I did last weekend, right? When I spent almost half of the money that I made, I spent on the restaurant. But now it's dead over here. Uber shows very low income potential, but then it's going to I'm guessing at 12, it's going to get higher. And then at 1 o'clock, it's going to get even higher. And I have Uber on, I have Lyft on, and Doordash. Doordash now shows downtown is busy, and you get a bonus of $2 for each delivery. Son of a gun. So here it's red, so you can dash, which I started, and here every order until 2:30 they give you a bonus of $1. So now I'm sitting here, it shows red area, so this is busy, and I see that spot here somewhere close by. That's some kind of a Vietnamese Viet Lounge. No, change that. So now that one is not busy anymore. So now the new hot spot is Barcelos Flame Grilled Chicken. But here, it's easy to find parking. It's a huge shopping center. There's a Walmart. Actually, a couple of times I picked up people at the Walmart, so it's a great place. That's where you would see taxi cabs. They would sit in a place like this. But it's a bit too early for restaurants, right? So it's 11 o'clock, 11:20. So if somebody goes to a restaurant, like most restaurants open at 11. I think that IHOP actually opens like at 8 or something. Well, last time I was here, I did Doordash from IHOP. They gave me 2 bags of pancakes, and usually when people order IHOP, they're not close by, because this IHOP is I don't know if there's another location, but I remember from here I went all the way like maybe 10 kilometers somewhere north or northwest. So I don't know. I don't want to spend money on the IHOP. I'll just wait for the next order. But yeah, it's funny how. So I had Katerina, the Russian-Ukrainian girl, and this last one, Julia, but it's Yulia in Russian. And she says, yeah, we grew up in Bakhmut, which is eastern Ukraine. She says that's where the actual war is going on. So you cannot live there. And that's why they left. So yeah, lots of Ukrainians now in Calgary. Okay, I'm gonna go and do like a circle around the parking lot. Sometimes it helps to bring along some waters. Yeah, so my guy is facing west. I can see the Nose Hill Park, and there's Highway 2 is in that hole after the fence. And this is 64 Avenue to my right. And there's a Denny's over there. There's a bunch of restaurants, A&W. There's a Chinese place. It's a great spot, you know, there's McDonald's, there's Tim Hortons, Dollarama, Good Life Fitness. I'll just go closer to Walmart, because Walmart I think opens at either 7 or 8, so maybe I'll get somebody with you know, some shoppers. Shit, I'm on the wrong side. should be here. And that's the gym where I dropped off the girl. Good Life Fitness. Oh, there's a Mucho Burrito here, and it's open. I like their food. Tortillas are pretty good. There's a chopped leaf. I see a guy coming out. Okay, Lyft. $10, 4 kilometers to the customer, and that's 8 kilometers to the drop-off. Dismissed. But that guy in the Jeep, I'm pretty sure I was first at the stop line. Just some kind of a moron who should not be allowed to drive. Okay, but now, yeah, it's the same. Like this car on the left, we stop at the same time. But now, out of abundance of caution, because there's so many idiots, I'm not in a rush. I don't have to rush anywhere to go. I'll just, yeah, by the way, that's straight ahead IHOP, the blue letters on the building. We'll just stop here. Stop here. Oh, there's Booster Juice. Sometimes I picked up something there. Sometimes Doordash will offer the shop and pay, like especially with Walmart, where you go there and you shop for 60 items for 2 hours, and then you drive 20 kilometers and they pay you $6. No thank you. So I was sitting there, had 3 apps on: DoorDash, Uber, Lyft, nothing. No, actually, DoorDash, wait. DoorDash offered me a ride. It says 10 kilometers, IHOP, which was 100 meters away, and it paid $6. No.
In 600 meters, turn left on 49 Avenue Northeast.
And then I decided to see if Uber, because now it's a perfect time to do, you know, food delivery. It's 11:34, and so I went into Uber app and I changed the services. I canceled the taxi, you know, Uber Comfort, Uber X, and Uber Pet, and I selected deliveries. No shop and pay, just deliveries. And first they offered me something.
Turn left on 49 Avenue Northeast.
Also was super cheap, like $5 for 10 kilometers. And the next one, that's the one I accepted and I'm doing now on my way to the restaurant. It was $18 for 19 kilometers, which is you know, pretty much
Turn right on Aviation Boulevard Northeast.
pretty much similar to Uber X. And so now I'm driving south. I left at the Walmart area and I'm driving south somewhere. So my restaurant is somewhere on 32nd Avenue. And I don't know, 18 kilometers, was it total or whatever, 19 kilometers? It was probably total. It's like 4 kilometers to the restaurant, but you know, if it pays okay, so yeah, it's somewhere close to, it's called Fresh Adila Deer Food Cafe. And then I'm going northwest, which is actually a great area for taxi. It's much busier than this area. So when I'm down there, I'll see if they're not offering me any good deliveries. I'll switch back to taxi. You know, taxi. Some people say, oh, it's Uber, it's not taxi. Well, same idea, right? You hire a guy with a car to give you a ride. So I don't know what's the difference. The only difference is that I don't even know if taxi cabs now have the meter, because it's probably been 10 years since I used a taxi cab. I think once I was in Saskatchewan. The year was, let's say, I don't know, 2015, 2017, and I'm sitting in Saskatchewan in a small town, and I'm sitting at a truck stop, and I wanted to go grab some wine, and the store was like 3 kilometers away, and it was cold. The weather was not good, so okay, I'll take an Uber. So I start the app, and it says, sorry, no cars available. So okay, show me taxi cab companies. So it gives me a taxi cab company, and as usual, these guys are so bad. I think I waited like 40 minutes. It's okay, you know, I'm sitting inside my truck, I'm, you know, watching some YouTube movies on my laptop. So eventually,
In 600 meters, turn left on 32 Avenue Northeast.
Eventually a yellow cab shows up, and I said, I'm going there and back. Just going inside the store, LC liquor store, pick up something, and you wait for me, and then 2 minutes and we drive back. But yeah, those guys were awful. I think it was a woman actually. A woman shows up driving a taxi cab. But yeah, you know, the services are, I'm surprised they still exist over here. I still see
turn left on 32 Avenue Northeast, then turn right on 12th Street Northeast.
I gotta be in this lane because I'm turning right. So first I'm turning left and then I'm turning right. So I have to be in this, you know, in the curb lane after I turn. So that's how you think ahead. Because I see on the app here, it shows me that when I turn, basically my place where I'm going is somewhere pretty much across the road. But I gotta go left and then right into that area, so the restaurant is somewhere there. See, I don't know. Sometimes it helps. I think if I, you know, I don't shy away from work. Work is work. Money is money.
Turn right on 12th Street Northeast, then turn right on 31 Avenue Northeast.
See this guy? He was in that lane. Now he's going this way. That's not good. See, I'm in the proper lane. I'm all set up for the turn.
Turn right on 31 Avenue Northeast, then turn right.
I think I'm going here. I don't see any cafes here. What?
Turn right.
Turn right where? See, just like I said, my place is across the. I was over there.
Pick up.
Fresh Adila Dia Food Cafe. Okay. We are in business. Yeah, one inside. It's basically, it's not a restaurant. It's kind of like a to-go place where you just get stuff to go. It's inside this building over there. Looks like Mexican food, like tortillas, stuff like that. And my order was already sitting there in the basket. I come in, the guy says, it's over here. I said, Juan? That's the that's the name of my customer. He says, yeah. And it's like 2 boxes. I brought along both of my bags, but I only needed one. And now it says I'm driving 15 kilometers. And it will take 20 minutes. But it's all freeway. Once I turn here, I go on Deerfoot Trail. Always remember to turn off freaking auto stop. Man, this is like New York City.
Turn left on 32 Avenue Northeast.
And here again I have to be in the right lane, because after the turn there's a ramp to Deerfoot North. Because I think that's where I'm going there, and then yeah, Beddington Trail. Oh no, I think it's 64 Avenue. So the guy lives somewhere just northwest of Nose Hill Park. And as I'm driving, it's actually finding me trips. And my instructions are leave at door. Oh yeah, it's Beddington Trail. Yeah. First it wanted me to go on 64 Avenue, and then it says found faster route, saves 1 minute. And I said okay.
300 meters, keep right on Deerfoot Trail North using the right lane.
And now yeah, it's easy. So now I just take Deerfoot North, and a couple of exits north there's Beddington Trail. That one is pretty fast because it's even though it has lights, but it's 80 clicks an hour, and it's divided highway.
Keep right on Deerfoot Trail North.
And everything is melting now, even though it's like, I guess it's all because it's all salt, because it's still -9.
Unknown caller.
Somebody's calling me. The guy in front of me drives 83 kilometers per hour.
In 600 meters, take right exit 265 onto Bennington Trail Northeast using the right 2 lanes.
76 now.
Take right exit 265 onto Bennington Trail Northeast, then keep left onto Bennington Trail Northeast. In 300 meters, keep left onto Bennington Trail Northeast using the left 2 lanes. Keep left onto Bennington
I checked the name on my dash cam. It is Viofo. So I sent them a message this morning because they're offering me to test a truck specific dash cam, and I told, because they said we saw you drive a truck.
600 meters, keep right toward Country Hills Boulevard using the right lane.
And I told them the truth. I said, yeah, I'm driving a medium, well, small size truck, but it's not my truck, so I cannot install a dash cam on it. It already has a dash cam that, owned by the company. So why would I install my own dash cam, right? But I said, I have another vehicle, a Dodge Durango, a large SUV. I'd be happy to test your product on the SUV if it works for you. And she said, yeah, that's a large vehicle. We can do that. So is your address still the same? I said, yeah, sure. But then she said something about
keep right toward Country Hills Boulevard, then keep left.
Cameras sitting next to your mirrors. So when I get home, I probably better research that, because I don't know. She said something about waterproof, so
keep left toward Country Hills Boulevard West.
I never saw a dash cam that sits outside, because that's not gonna work, I don't think, in Canada, because we have some pretty bad weather here in winter, right? Like, I like this one. This one is great, works perfect. So comes with 3 cameras, but I only installed 2 because I didn't want to deal with the wire. Like, the wire is very long, right? You have to. I had that one in my Charger when I had the Dodge Charger. I had a 3 camera system, and then I just the cable was over there at the top. But it's a bit clumsy. Like, even here, I have to remind people not to tilt the seat, the passenger seat, too far back, because there's a cable there. But lucky for me, like, most of the time there's just 1 person or 2 people that sit in the back, right? They don't take the passenger seat. But this morning, when I had the dad with 2 small kids, so he put the 2 kids in there, and he sat here, which is fine. But yeah, I like this company. I'm telling you, Viofo, nice. If they send me this, I'm gonna research that. She sent me the name of that model. I'm gonna go to their website and see how big is it. Like, because she says it's a tracking dash cam. Look at this guy. I'm telling you, people just don't know how to fucking drive. Huh? This guy was in the turn lane. Now he's turning this way. Okay, 4.6 kilometers to my drop. Easy peasy.
In 600 meters, keep left to stay on Country Hills Boulevard Northwest using the left 2 lanes.
And this is pretty much the area where I often drive in my truck, in the Freightliner.
Keep left to stay on Country Hills Boulevard Northwest, then turn left on Shaganappy Trail Northwest.
Oh, that's where we go. Shaganappy. Alright.
Turn left on Shaganappy Trail Northwest.
And on this car, I feel like I damaged the wipers. A couple of times when there was a bit of ice, and wipers had some ice on them. And you move them thinking you're gonna clear the window, and what the ice damages the because you see now they leave spots on the window, like this one here, right just ahead of me. So I should probably get new wipers. Alright, so 3.6 kilometers, so we're gonna go on Shaganappy all the way to, where is this? see the name. Oh, now it's offering me another one. It says $4 for 5 kilometers. Somehow I don't feel like doing that. Oh, it's a package. $4 for 5 kilometers. I don't want to bother with that one. And it's funny, there is a, you know, like those service blocks that you select in the menu, Uber X, Uber Comfort, Uber Pet. There's a box for deliveries, which now I checked. And there's a box for packages. I did not check that one. And they still push some cheap packages on you, because I guess they qualify as a delivery. But I tried them before. That's something they introduced a couple of years ago, packages. And then I saw right away, I tried it, and I saw right away it was like $5 for 20 kilometers, you know, $10 for 50 kilometers. It was BS. And so I never checked that box.
600 meters, make a slight right turn on Edgemont Boulevard Northwest using the right lane.
I never checked that box, and yet they still give you packages. So once I deliver, I'll see what happens here, because we're in the middle of nowhere here. There's no restaurants right here, and that's the problem with food deliveries and why I don't do it all the time.
Make a slight right turn on Edgemont Boulevard Northwest.
Is because you see, like this one was 5 kilometers. So basically, you deliver food to a residential area, right? That's the whole point of delivery. People order food from a restaurant. Like if there was a restaurant next to their house, they would probably just walk there, right? Makes sense? And so if I stay with delivery, food delivery, that means that
in 600 meters, turn left on Edinburgh Drive Northwest.
That means that my next order, I will have to go to that restaurant away from this area, right? And compare that with Uber X, or taxi as I call it. So let's say I drop off a person here, and if it's busy, it says, you know, Tamara or whatever, Tanya, 150 meters away. You know, you don't have to leave the area where you drop off your order or your passenger.
Turn left on Edinburgh Drive Northwest.
That's what's good about Uber X or Lyft, and that's why you can make, even though the rates can be similar, but you can make more money because of this, because you don't have to drive to a restaurant, to a new location.
300 meters, turn left on Edforth Crescent Northwest.
And also, even though usually it's quick, you see, like now, right? I went inside the restaurant, the food is ready, boom, I grabbed it. But you still have to park the car, you have to go grab the package, you still lose probably
turn
like...
left on Edforth Crescent Northwest.
Okay, you see 15 kilometers, $15, 39 kilometers. Screw you. Okay, I almost missed my turn. But this is very good.
Turn right on Edcliff Road Northwest, then drop off on the right.
This is a very good area for taxing. So once I drop this off, I'm gonna switch to Uber X. Alright, so I see the number that I need, so it's gonna be somewhere here on the right.
Drop off on the right.
Okay, let me go drop off the food. Yeah, I just picked up a Doordash order at Chipotle over here. Another good area with a Walmart and Best Buy, but I switched Uber to taxi when I dropped off that last.
In 30 meters, turn right.
When I drop off that last order for Uber Eats. I switched to Uber X, even though it showed everything was red, but and I started Doordash and Lyft.
200 meters, turn right onto 52 Avenue Northwest.
So Doordash gave me a nice order, even though it was like 4.5 clicks away. So I had to drive here, 4 kilometers. But the order was already done. I asked him, I said, hey, Doordash for this guy. And they didn't even bother checking. They said, look on the shelf. And I go to the shelf and there's like 4 orders there.
Turn right onto 52 Avenue Northwest. Then
So
turn left.
I found my customer's name. And here we go.
Turn left onto Northland Drive Northwest.
And now it's 10.7 clicks, which is not exactly around the corner. Auto start off. What an annoying feature. Why they don't allow you to disable it in the menu somewhere? You have to do it every freaking time you get in the car. And of course you forget, and then you come to an intersection, boom, the car goes off. And if this was, perfect technology, I would be okay with it, but I already had to replace a battery once. I had a check engine light, had no idea what it is. Went to Chrysler, and they said, oh, it's your battery. I said, what's wrong with it? Oh, it wasn't keeping the charge, it wasn't charging, basically, exhausted. And I said, I know what caused this. It's this freaking start and stop feature, which sounds nice on paper. Yeah, you're saving money, but then you're killing components of your car.
200 meters, turn left onto Shakopee Trail Northwest.
Such as the battery.
Turn left onto Shakopee Trail Northwest.
Oh wow! So I'm gonna end up in a very good area for everything, for taxi, for food delivery. I'm guessing I'm going to university somewhere. No, I'm going on 1A, which is Crowchild over there, and I'm pretty much going all the way to the ring road, and then I'm taking some local roads, and my place is somewhere over there next to the ring road, but inside. So I need this one west, Crowchild, 1A west. For some reason, it's not talking to me anymore. What's going on?
Continue for 6 kilometers.
By mistake, I touched the speaker volume icon, and it stopped. And here there's no lights. From here all the way to the ring road. So my instant fuel economy is 6 liters per 100 kilometers. Now 5. Range to empty 414 kilometers. And my tank was full this morning, and when it was full it showed 482, which is pretty bad. But then as I started driving, because I was on the on roads like this all the time, I saw the range to empty started increasing, and it reached, at one point I saw 495, and then it started going down. So usually I know in the summer, if I'm driving, oh, that LRT, light transit rail on my left, if I'm driving on the roads like this with no lights, the range to empty from full tank would be over 500 kilometers. Because this thing does not have a big tank. I think it's maybe 59 liters, something like that. See, the roads are not too bad. So 201 Stony Trail, 3 kilometers. And pretty much that's where I'm going. Oh wait, so it's saying that I have to take Stony Trail. Oh wow. I'm guessing I'm taking it north and then I'm taking the first exit. I don't know. I like Doordash. When it pays okay, why not? And I see again, the order was ready. I didn't have to wait. I go inside, grab the order, then I really needed to use the washroom again, wash my hands, and the order was already inside my insulated bag. And now we're driving. Like same deal as with a passenger, except my floor mats and my seats are not gonna get dirty. Actually, I remember one guy left a comment when I was talking about some bad experiences with passengers, you know, like kids, you know, leaving dirt, or they eat something, they eat some candy, even though I have a sign in the back that says no food. But they eat something and then they touch the seats and they leave some greasy marks or some chocolate or whatever, right? So anyway, when you have passengers, definitely there's more cleaning is involved, right? And I remember one guy, when I was talking about this, about my Lyft and Uber experience, one guy from the States left a comment. He says, that's exactly why I don't do Uber X anymore. He says, I just do food delivery. And he was somewhere in a big city, like, I don't know, Memphis, Kansas City, you know. And of course, when you live in a large city, you can make very good money with food delivery. You don't need Uber X. But Calgary is not exactly huge. What is it? A couple of million people. It's not that big. So and there's too many Uber drivers here. Look at this guy. Crazy guy in a pickup truck. Went in the middle. So what? Oh, I guess he's just trying his truck. So he drives. Oh, okay. So our lane ends, and so that guy was driving in the snow to see how good his truck is. Ah, that's what it is. Okay, so now we're taking Country Hills Boulevard exit. Now this guy is driving 67, 68, 69 clicks an hour. On the ramp to 201, where the speed limit is 100 clicks an hour.
In 800 meters, take exit 43 toward Country Hills Boulevard.
Lots of morons behind the wheels.
Take exit 45.
Me included. But I just couldn't stand it any longer. This guy's just... And then, of course, he's merging.
Keep right to take Country Hills Boulevard East.
Oh, and now he's actually behind me. Because he probably realized that he's a moron and he actually has to take this exit. Holy...
Keep right to take Country Hills Boulevard East.
I'm going into all these little streets to find my house where I'm delivering this.
Turn left onto Citadel Way Northwest.
Oh, it's from here it's 1 kilometer to the drop off. Oh, I'm
Continue
gonna
for 800 meters.
stop here, grab coffee. Okay, so we are 2 minutes away. When I'm 1 minute away, I'll start Uber. That's another trick I learned. You don't have to wait until you are empty. Let's see, 1 minute. Why is it important? Resume. So I resumed UberX. Taxi only, no food delivery. Why is it important is that, as I mentioned before, for some reason,
In 400 meters, turn right onto Citadel Estates Manor Northwest.
for some reason, Uber likes it when you're moving. There's a higher chance of getting an order when you're moving. And so now I'm moving, right? So I'm with UberX. We are moving a bit too fast, but that's okay. We're bringing food to some hungry people.
Turn right onto Citadel Estates Manor Northwest. Then turn left.
No buses today. Okay, this way. Oh, it's all
Turn
these
left to stay on Citadel Estates Manor Northwest. Then
Down.
turn right.
townhouses.
Turn right to stay on Citadel Estates Manor Northwest. Then 116 Citadel Estates Manor Northwest will be on the right. 116 Citadel Estates Manor Northwest is on the right.
But these are garages. So I'm in the back area. Actually, no. I see a porch. Okay, hold on. Let me go drop this one. So I dropped off my food. Drove to the 7-Eleven over here. I had my fancy brunch. One Jamaican patty, 300 calories, and one small coffee. $5. Now that's more like it. Not like last time. Which way are we going?
Turn left on Country Hills Boulevard Northwest.
Oh yeah, and they gave me UberX. But this time I'm trying something. Normally, when I choose food delivery, I disable UberX. But actually, the app gives you an option. You can keep all boxes checked. You know, but I tried it before, and I think I was getting some super cheap delivery orders, and I found that I had better luck when I unchecked UberX, Uber Comfort, Uber Peta. I only left deliveries, and so I was getting better orders. I thought. But now I started UberX, and it shows again this area is crazy red, super high earnings, and I'm sitting 5-10 minutes nothing. And so I went back to the menu and I checked deliveries. So now I'm in a atypical mode where they can throw me deliveries and UberX if they want to. So I gotta pay attention, because basically when you get an order offer, it'll say in the corner what it is. It'll say like Uber XL, Uber Comfort, Uber X, or delivery. So this time I double checked. It says Uber X. So the guy was like 3 kilometers away. So all I see is the name, Caleb, and distance. Then I click accept, and the app starts guiding me towards our next victim. And I always try to guess, where people are going. See, auto stop. Always forget. When I turn on the car, I forget to disable it. So I always try to guess where people are going. Like in downtown, my experience is that quite often people go very close. But you see, I had that Julia lady, right, who I took to the gym. That was like 15 clicks, and she was in downtown. But that's not typical. Typical is, in this weather, they would be going 1 kilometer from a hotel to a bar. So this guy, we are in Northwest.
In 600 meters, turn right on Hogstone Gate Northwest.
So the university, Calgary University, is not too far away. So this might be a student, because today's Friday. They probably still have school. Might be a student going to a university, or he may be going, so it's 12:54, 1 o'clock. So he may be going downtown.
Turn right on Hogstone Gate Northwest.
Or he may be flying to Mexico for the weekend. And I'll know that if I see a guy with a bunch of suitcases. So if somebody comes out with a bunch of suitcases, I always want to joke saying, a railroad station or
Turn
airport.
left on Hogstone Drive Northwest.
Except we don't have a railroad station here. Like a big one, like Union Station, in Toronto. A couple of times took people to coach stops, where you can catch a bus. Like, I remember one lady was going to surprise her boyfriend, which I don't think is a good idea.
Turn left on Hogdry Green Northwest.
She was took Uber to get to a downtown place where the bus stops, and she was going.
Turn left on Hogdry Green Northwest, then turn right.
And she was going to Red Deer. And then another time I picked up somebody. I delivered somebody. Same idea, to a bus stop, and she was going to Edmonton.
Turn right to stay on Hogdry Green Northwest.
Alright, it's somewhere here, but on the other side of this park. Oh yeah, it's like a circle. Okay.
In 300 meters, pick up Caleb.
Okay. And so remember how I was saying I like guessing where people are going? So I was wrong. This guy was not going to a university, he was not going to the airport, he was not going downtown, he was going to a pharmacy, which was 5 clicks north. So I took him there, and actually as soon as I started moving when he was in the car, my screen started flashing again, and Uber says reservation, Uber Pet, 12 kilometers away. Alright, and so now I'm driving in the middle of nowhere. We're just going west, away from Calgary, where they have these Bass Pour Reach houses, kind of like a suburb of Calgary. And this reminds me that a couple of times I picked up, there's like a community center, like a Chinese community center, and it's in the middle of nowhere, pretty much in this area where I'm going. And I picked up one lady, and it was Uber Pet. And the lady comes out, and she has like a medium-sized handbag. And I said, where's the pet? Is it inside your bag? Because the bag was not that big, but if she has a cat, I thought maybe she put the cat in the bag. Cat in the bag, got it? And the lady says, no, we do Uber Pet because otherwise you guys don't want to come here. It's too far. And because, Uber Pet pays more, right? And that's why I took it. Like, honestly, me too. I would never drive 12 kilometers. Again, once Uber starts showing us the price up front, I could make a justified decision. But only knowing the name of the person and how far they are does not tell me anything. I don't have enough information, and so the only reason I took it is because it's Uber Pet, so it pays probably like 50% more. But then I think last time, if this is that place, which I think it is, but last time, so I drove like 10 kilometers, and they were actually not going that far. Well, I think it was one lady, yeah. She was not going that far. She was just going pretty much south, back towards Calgary, and maybe 10 kilometers. So, and then I got like 15 bucks, but I drove 10 empty and 10 loaded, which still sucks. But it's a little road trip out in the country. I've been to this place, this Burma, there's a pit. There's a pit here, and they still have the house. Like the original owner, the owner who owned this land, still has a house there. And I remember I delivered, I think it was a forklift. Let me just stay away further from the car in the front, otherwise all this shit flies on the windshield. And I think over here the limit is already 80 clicks an hour. It was 60 till that pit. But after the pit, I'm pretty sure it's 80. And then there'll be one brief area, because there'll be houses on the left. That area, and dozer is working. Actually, some weird looking machine. Yeah, it's 80. This guy is starting to. What is this? A convoy? Alright, finally. Yeah, so now we have houses here. And then at 3 kilometers I'm turning on this Bass Paw Road. Then I'm going north 2 clicks. Well, this is, it's a nice area. It's a nice ride on fields, and except my windshield is dirty, so the camera facing forward will not be able to produce a clear image. It should be slightly better now. Yeah, I definitely need to change my wipers. Alright, watch out for wildlife. Yeah, they like spots like this, when the road is between the trees. So they will try to run from one side of the road to the other. And of course, deer is stupid. They just, foxes and wolves, they're so cautious. They would never try to cross the road when there's a vehicle coming. But deer, they sit on the side of the road, and then something clicks in their brain, run. And they don't care if there's a car driving on the road or not. So Uber Pet. Okay. And just to punish me for my sarcasm, there'll be a lady with a huge dog. No, 3 dogs. She'll have 3 dogs and 2 cats. and she'll be going to an animal hospital downtown.
In 600 meters, turn right on Bearsville Road.
Actually, that would be cool because downtown from here is like 40 clicks away, and plus it's Uber Pet, so I probably would have made like 60 bucks, you know. Yeah, we definitely Uber. If you're watching this, well, they cannot watch this because, well, actually, I'll be showing this when there's no passengers and I'm talking. We definitely need to know up front where the passenger is going and how much the ride is paying. Because a couple of times, you know, actually, yeah, when Uber was offering me something like, you know, 8-10 kilometers away, I would dismiss it because I was positive I could find something closer. But what if that ride, you know, paid a premium? What if there was like some kind of a surcharge that I'm not aware of? You know, and I say no because I don't have the full information to make a decision. So it's really stupid. Now imagine, let's say you're a contractor, right? Let's say you're a plumber. And the guy calls you and says, hey, we need a plumber. And you say, okay, what do you want? Oh, we cannot tell you. What can you tell me? Well, I can tell you my name, Jim, and that I'm 2.4 kilometers away from you. All right. How long will the job take? I cannot tell you. Okay. How much will you pay me? I don't know yet. And Jim says, okay, I'll take the job, even though we don't know, I don't know what you want me to do, how long it'll take, or how much you'll pay me. But that sounds fair, right? So that's what Uber is doing to us. Yeah, go 12 kilometers, pick up Wendy. Actually, yeah, this is not the Chinese community. These are houses. And 26, okay, I have a...
Pick up Wendy on the left.
1649. Well, looks like it's a real passenger. So I drove 12 kilometers and the order says Wendy. A guy comes out and I say, is it for Wendy? And he says, yeah, my wife booked it for me. And he has some kind of a bag in the hand, but just folded back, you know. And I said, is there a pet? He says, no. And I say, why did you, how come you have a Uber pet? And he says, I don't know, the wife booked it and it came up as Uber pet. And actually, as I was waiting for him, I noticed it said reservation, and reservation time for the time reserved for pickup was 1:30, and I was there at like 1:22. Because usually we wait, they tell us to wait like 3-4 minutes maximum, and then they start charging them, right? In this case, when I arrived there, it says wait for 6 minutes 45 seconds, and then I click. It says pickup info. I click there. And it says reservation is for 1:30 p.m. You'll be paid, if you complete this trip, you'll be paid $25. And I still don't see where I'm going. All I know is that now it's a reservation. I'm waiting for Wendy with a pet. And so then the guy comes out and we drive 8 kilometers to this YMCA. There's some kind of a physiology department there. You know, like some doctors or some nurses, whatever. I think the guy mentioned something, he had some injuries. Okay, Uber X, 4 minutes away. Okay, that's all I know. 1.6 kilometers. And when I click pick up, it says picking up at Dora. Where are Song Studios? Okay, so now I have to go into settings and pause Doordash, turn off, go offline on Lyft, back to Uber, and the guy gave me a $5 tip. You want to see it? $5. So Uber paid me 25 bucks. The guy gave me 5. So that's proper. You know, okay, 12 kilometers, 8, so 20 kilometers. I drove 20 kilometers and I made 30 bucks. Actually, these areas, you know, when you go this way, you know, that's where all these rich people live, you know. And so they would give you a tip. And he mentioned something. He says, we were talking about this Uber Pet situation, because I told him about that Chinese community center. I said the lady had Uber Pet without a pet because she says otherwise people will not come because Uber Pet pays better. And this guy says, ah, okay, it sounds similar to, like he says, when we order food with Uber, and he says sometimes we order from Cochrane, which is like 50 kilometers away. He says we have to give a good tip. Alright, so it's 1.4 clicks, so it's probably, there's a huge shopping center there. Like, I know these areas very well, you know, because actually here I dropped off, I remember a couple here, a young couple, a guy and a girl.
In 300 meters, turn left to stay on Country Hills Boulevard Northwest.
And now when we get to the main road, which I believe is it's 144 Avenue, or is it Country Hills Boulevard? I don't remember. Country Hills. Yeah, it's Country Hills Boulevard.
Turn left to stay on Country Hills Boulevard Northwest.
So we go here, and then the road will turn to the right, and right after that turn, maybe like a kilometer, there's a huge shopping center. And actually, that's where our company, we had our Christmas party. Like every December, our bosses organize a Christmas party. That's why I love this company that I work for, because there's lots of perks. And actually, auto on off. What? By the time that guy crossed the street, it turned red. Oh, I see a heavy hauler guy. Somebody's loading a rock truck right on the road. Yeah, I did not make it. He's looking back at me. One guy crosses the street, only one car was able to pass. And now the pedestrian light is white, which means that nothing is going to happen until we make it on. Now it's changed to red, and it starts countdown from 10. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This guy is gonna go through red. No, still green. What the heck? Oh, okay. Now that one changed to amber. Green. So yeah, I'm pretty sure this Adora is somewhere inside the shopping center. Oh, check out. You see this guy on the left? So Peterbilt, small sleeper, and it's like that walking tail trailer. Here's a cat, a rock truck. So I'm picking her up at R. Song Studios. Is it some kind of a musical store? I have no idea. Yeah, I see there's a Walmart. It's called the Royal Oak Center.
Turn left.
The Royal Oak Center. Sleep Country, Dollarama, RBC Royal Bank. Alright, let's go find our R Song Studios. No idea what that is. Yeah, so took that lady 5 kilometers from that shopping center. Yeah, 5.9 kilometers. It paid $7.34. And then when I was going through the earnings, I also noticed that somebody gave me a tip. Fresher Dealer, Deer Food Cafe. Oh, so it's the same. They promised me 18 bucks, and I think for a while it was sitting at $13, and because they don't process tips right away. So yeah, it did. So the guy did give me $5 tip. So again, so that 20-kilometer delivery was $18.53 for Uber Eats from that Fresher Dealer Deer Food Cafe to Nose Hill Park. So it was pretty good. So it's 2 o'clock now, exactly 2 o'clock. So I've been doing rides and deliveries since 7. So 7 hours. There was probably, I was sitting 10, 15, 20 minutes, right, each time, sometimes. Actually, let's check Uber here. Let's check the area. All right, yeah, I see it's still, so I'm in Northwest, that blue dot in there. It's still red, high potential, so I'll keep going. Like, all I had so far was like 3 coffees and 1 Jamaican patty, but I don't feel hungry. And so what I have to show for 7 hours of gig economy work? We have $136 on Uber. We have $16.92 on Lyft. And I'm pretty sure I did one Doordash. I forgot what it was. 12 bucks, 18 bucks. So 136 50, so probably, I don't know, 150, $160. Which is funny is because, you know, if I look at this, so 7 hours, and I know my hourly rate if I was at work driving my 5-ton truck, I would have made more money. Okay, Uber.
Head to your pickup on Ranch View DRNW.
Yeah, near Al Salam Center. Oh, it's some kind of church. So all I know, see, that's the screen. I see 1.2 kilometers picking up Ray. That's it. That's all we know so far. No price, no destination. Now the trick is, sometimes this app has no idea which way I'm facing. So now figure. I think it wants me to go this way, but oh wait, so I was not recording?
Turn left on Ranchero Drive northwest.
Yeah, so that was I was supposed to go the other way because now instead of 1.2 kilometers, now it's 1.6. Well, too late now.
Just ahead, turn left on Ranchlands Boulevard northwest.
So I just heard a recording started, so I guess it was not recording when I was sitting there on the side.
Turn left on Ranchlands Boulevard northwest.
Ranchlands Boulevard. Ranchlands Boulevard. Who came up with a stupid name like that? You cannot even pronounce it. Alright, so what do you guys
600
think?
meters, turn right on Ranchview Drive northwest.
Where is Ray going? 2 o'clock now. Today actually there's a big game at 4 o'clock in downtown. I think it's hockey. Starts at 4 p.m. Time now 2 o'clock. So usually these guys, when they go to games, they go real early and then they meet their friends in a bar. So to get ready for the game, so have a couple of beers and then they go to the game. So my guess is
turn right on Ranchview Drive northwest, then pick up Ray on the right.
yeah, my guess is that this guy is going downtown to a bar. Actually, that would be cool because from here it's pretty far. It's like 25 kilometers. All right, where is my victim here? All right, we're stuck behind the bus. I hate buses. Like they're fat asses blocking the entire road. You cannot pass them. They drive super slow. Come on, bus. Let's go.
Pick up Ray on the right.
Where? Pick up on the right. Is it giving me a... Oh, it's some kind of church, right? Near El Salam Center. Is this guy? No, that's not my guy.
Pick up Ray on the right.
St. James Anglican Church. I guess he's here somewhere. Yeah, I just dropped off that guy, so he was coming from a church back home here. So I'm northwest, close to that YMCA. And actually that guy was asking me, he says, "Are you the one who's gonna pick me up?" And I said, "What do you mean?" And he says, "Well, I'll be booking Uber from there, and it would be great if I know the car. You like color?" I said, "No. What I see is that Uber only gave me this ride. And so let's see, is Uber busy? Uh-huh. So I'm just outside of busy area, but I'm out north, so it's not too busy. See my blue dot? I'm outside of the red area, so my area is, that's the yellow bar, like you see, low. I guess I have to go, yeah, I have to go this way. I have to go right. It's actually where I picked up that Adora lady. That's where the YMCA is, and that's where the shopping center is. Let's start Lyft. Let's see what Doordash is telling us. Oh, it started by itself. How is that possible? I put it on pause because Doordash has a dash ends at 3 p.m. And the hotspot near me is Chunyang, 2 kilometers away, which is the shopping center. So I think I have to go there. Yeah, because that would be good for everything, for Uber, for Doordash. And this last one paid $9.90, and the total distance was 10.2 kilometers. So we're sitting now at $146 with Uber. Actually, it's been a while since I went past 100, because usually Uber in winter is very low on demand. It's 13 trips. Wow. I did 13 trips with Uber and 2 with Lyft, so that's 15. And I think I did 1 with Doordash. Just crazy. But seriously, I was comparing how much money I would have made if I didn't go away from my main job. I would have made more money because my hourly pay there is higher than here, and I don't have to pay. I'm not responsible for. Is it still recording? Well, all the lights are on. I think we're still recording. So now range to empty is 362 kilometers, down from 495. I probably did 130 kilometers because I was driving all over the place. But this is exciting, like I have all apps running, DoorDash, Lyft, Uber, and I'm just trying to guess who will give me work first. By the way, this house on the right, you see this nice black and white house? I was here probably 5-6 months ago. Oh, and there's already a pickup truck in the driveway. When this was just a shell. This was a shell, and I delivered, pretty sure it was scaffolding. I delivered scaffolding here, and it was still like, planks, auto on, off, off. So there was still kind of like just timbers, And now it's all finished, and they sold the house, and actually it's huge. Has a nice balcony in the back there, where in the summer you can entertain friends and drink some wine. It's funny how it keeps pulling me into the same area. that's where I was with that farmer guy, YMCA. It's on the left. And that's where I picked up that lady at the fitness center. Yeah, for me to make it worthwhile, since I'm not working today, so I'm losing money, I should make at least 200. But 146 and 146, 141. So it's 162 from Lyft and Uber. 162, and I think I made like 18 on Doordash. 62, 18, so 180. Well, it's 229 now. Yeah, this is Friday, right? So the best money will be at night, especially with this game happening at 4 p.m. But I've been driving since 7, and I wanted to take a break. I did not take a break, so they're not gonna allow me to drive past 4. Yeah, that's where I came out, where that guy crossed the road. Oh, Uber offered me package. 4 kilometers will take 18 minutes, and we will pay you $3. Okay, let me go into this menu here, and I'm gonna uncheck deliveries. Screw you. So now I only have Comfort, Uber Pet, and Uber X. If it's food, it's gotta be Doordash. Oh, that's the rock truck. So actually the guy was not loading, he was unloading. I see a rock truck sitting there in the driveway. So let's go here. But this is a great place. Great place for everything, for Uber, Lyft, and food delivery. I will just find a parking spot and Dollarama. Just remembered, I need some garbage bags. I ran out of garbage bags. Or Lyft is offering something 7 kilometers away, and then drive 14 kilometers, so 21 kilometers, and we'll pay you 13 bucks. Thank you, but no thank you. Beautiful fir trees here, covered with snow. Oh. Let me go stretch my legs, because I've been sitting on my butt half a day. My butt is going to sleep. Well, let's sum it up. It's 4 p.m. So I took a guy downtown, and 2 minutes away from him, he was going to work to some kind of a cafe, Tiger Sugar Cafe. And I said, what kind of food are they serving? He says, well, there's no food, mostly it's drinks. He says, actually, it's not very good. I said, what kind of drink? Like beer and stuff? He says, no, just Asian sweet drinks. I said, like tea? He says, yeah. And so I dropped him off, and 2 minutes away, a security guard from one of the condo buildings in there that I actually been a few times with deliveries was coming off work, and he's going home, and I took him to Country Hills Boulevard, you know, west of the airport. And I sat there for like 10 minutes. There's nothing. So now I remember that I wanted to buy a carpet to put in there in the back. Which way am I going? This way. Yeah, I want to go to Canadian Tire. There's a Canadian Tire there next to Sobeys. Well, there's no trips. Well, they give me a trip, I'll take the trip. But I want to get some, you know, to cover that little hump, because I was complaining about this yesterday. Like kids keep sliding over and they drag their dirty boots over that, and that's just fabric. You know, there's no rubber there, right? Like rubber, the floor mat is just on each side, but in between is that hump, and people often slide over there, and then it's hard for me to clean it. Oh, wait a second. Am I supposed to go there? Oh no, there's no. How do I get to Country Hills? Yeah, because these are all like kind of like backwood houses here. So the Country Hills is over there, but to get there you need to do a couple of turns. Okay, I think I have to go right here. Yeah, I'm watching my car on the map. Yeah, I think I have to go here. And I don't have a measuring tape. I don't want to take off the wiper, but when I get home I'm gonna grab a measuring tape, and then I can buy some cheap new wipers, because yeah, these are no good. They leave lots of dirt on the windshield, and I don't remember the size. I don't remember what size my wipers are. Maybe 18 inches, maybe 16. Okay, so this is Harvest Hills Boulevard, which is perfect. It's gonna take me right to Country Hills Boulevard. Yep. And then we'll hit pause on the Uber app. I'll go inside, and so yeah, I'm sitting now actually pretty good, you know. $187.80. 187.80. That's with Uber, and still the same, like 16 bucks with wait, it's the next one. No, Canadian Tire was here. Sorry, I saw Home Depot and I got scared. Shoot, so now I have to go in there because you cannot do a U-turn at the lights. Well, we can do it over here. I told you my Jeep was pretty good in the snow. So 187.80, basically 189, basically 190 bucks with Uber, 16 with Lyft, and $12 with Doordash. And it's 4 o'clock now. I don't know. I'm crazy. I only had that one Jamaican patty, but somehow I'm not hungry. Actually, I had a pretty good meal yesterday. I cooked some high protein pasta with omelette pepper and onions and mushrooms, and then I added cheese. It's like amazing. Yeah, and that's the Canadian Tire on the right. So let's put Uber on pause, and I'll turn off Lyft because it's useless anyway. It does give me some rides, but I keep dismissing them, because they're too cheap. Well, now they have a bunch of reservations available, so you can, on the map it shows you like numbers, $8, $6. It says map of reservations, and I go there like somebody wants $8 ride. I don't know, 10 kilometers, 15 kilometers, but it's set like a set time. Let's say somebody already booked 5 a.m. on Sunday, March 1st. Somebody wants to go to the airport, but it's like 15 kilometers away from me, and then they go 8 kilometers and it pays $8, which is not good. Yeah, just stopped by the Canadian Tire there and quickly found exactly what I was looking for.
Turn right on Country Hills Boulevard Northeast.
It's
Then keep right on Harvest Hills Boulevard Northeast.
it's the same type of a like long mat, kind of like maybe 2 meters long, that I use on my Durango for the rear seats, like the third row of seats.
Make a slight right turn.
And so this fits perfectly. So I put it all across the car in the back there, and then I put the original mats on top of them. And so now the middle part, that hump, is protected, and there's like double, like it looks good. It's not exactly perfect, could have been a little, but actually it has those
Turn left.
little segments that you can cut off. So I might make it a bit, might need to cut off like just a little bit. And as soon as I got out, I cleaned out my mats a little bit because there was a lot of dirt there.
Turn right on Harvest Hills Boulevard Northeast.
Because I had so many passengers. So I cleaned up the mats, cleaned up the under the doors there, and got a ride. 350 meters. And since it's already 20 minutes past 4, honestly, I already want to go home.
Turn left on Paramount Drive Northwest. Then turn left on Paramount Crescent Northwest.
It'll be interesting to see where this person is going. He or she. Foloshade? I don't know what kind of name this is.
Turn left on Paramount Crescent Northwest. Then pick up Foloshade on the left.
Foloshade. Alright, what's the number? Oh, it's the one with the tree. So I hope she doesn't go back to downtown, because I've already been there twice today, and the traffic is getting crazy. So I hope we're going somewhere close. And that's it. I just dropped off a lady with a kid near Lewiston here, just north of 201, and it's 4:40. I'm going home. Even though it's Friday, and now the game is at 4 o'clock in downtown, but I'm tired. I got up at 5:45 and started Uber at 7. So from 7 until, like, I only had one short break when I had that Jamaican patty, right?
In 600 meters, turn right.
And so basically I just put in the destination filter in Uber, put in my home address, and I said I want to be there by 5:45, and it's only 11 clicks, so I give them an hour. So if there's something going that way, they will give me some rides. And I did the same with the Lyft, but again, I only had 2 rides with Lyft today. Everything else was Uber. And I understand why some guys, they don't even bother,
Turn right.
you know, registering for Lyft. They only get Uber and that's it. But I do think that food delivery sometimes can be useful. Actually, I have it in the background on because they show that this is a busy area. But the nearest hotspot is Wendy's on Country Hills Boulevard, just 3.7 clicks. So I don't think I'll get anything from Doordash, but still made some money. So yeah, now we're just gonna jump on. I've been here many times for work because it's new construction behind me there in Lewisburg and Lewiston. So I delivered a bunch of scaffolding and, you know, generators, skid steers, mini excavators. But of course now it's good weather for Uber. You know, I'm probably going home too early.
Keep right onto Stony Trail Northeast.
Because it started snowing again, as you can see. And so probably around like 5, 6, when, you know, people are going home from work, it's gonna be crazy. But I'm pretty sure they will send me again to downtown, and in this weather, downtown is not good. Even though today I got lucky, right? I was in downtown, and each time when I got a ride back, it was not like 1 or 2 kilometers like usually, but it was something like 10, 15 kilometers out of downtown. I really like that. But yeah, this is the perfect weather for Uber. And now we're passing. This is the exit I always take for work, so Deerfoot Trail South. And of course, this is 201, the ring road. So the floor mat that I bought was 16 bucks, but I had $5 cash from the tip the guy gave me. So I said, I'll give you $5 cash and the rest on debit. And because this was a tip, which is like free money, right? So technically that $16 floor mat only cost me 12 bucks, which is good. So now at least the center part of the floor in the back is protected by all-weather rubber. I'm very happy with that. Yeah, time to go home. And so my boss sent me a message saying that, hey, you promised to call us back before the end of the day, and this was like 3 p.m. I still had lots of time because I told them that I'm gonna get in touch to see if they need me at my main job tomorrow, Saturday, because, you know, I work 6 days a week until spring. It was my own decision. And so the guy says, we need you tomorrow. If you get this message, please send me a thumbs up or whatever. And so I sent him a thumbs up, and then I said, we'll be in tomorrow. So that's it, we're good. Well, because yeah, the pay over there is much better than here. But I just got tired, you know. I got the only plus here is that it's super flexible and it's cash money, right? Whereas if I go to work, I have to wait 2 weeks for that money, right? And my pay now on Friday was super low. I was really frustrated to, you know, when I start the computer in the morning and I check my account balance and I see the paycheck dropping, but it's like unacceptable. And so at least now I made 200 bucks, which will now I do a fast cash out, and so this money will be in my account. I don't have to wait 2 weeks. You know, sometimes this is really, really important um, to have access to cash like this, and that's why I really liked when I was a trucker. I really liked factoring, right? I sent in the paperwork. Okay, they charge 5%, but I sent in the paperwork before 10 a.m. Eastern time. At 2 p.m. I see $20,000 in my account. They never let me down. This particular factoring company they're based in Mississauga, Ontario. You know, just west of Toronto. They never ever let me down. There was never a case when they said, we don't have money for this right now. Can we pay you half and then the other half on the next paycheck? No. I think once it was the opposite. I screwed up. I forgot what it was, but something got canceled or something, and I already cashed out the money. I forgot, but I remember that they had to ask me for money, not the other way around. They were always on time. You know, no issues. You give them the paperwork, boom, you have the money. So it was super duper convenient, you know. So no waiting. Well, sometimes, you know, especially when I was in the West here, where there's a large time difference with Ontario, right? So the deadline is 10 a.m. Eastern time, which is Toronto time. So which is 8 here. And you know, when you deliver in the morning, and of course I was dealing with big machinery, right? It takes like a couple of hours to unload, and you know, maybe like hour and a half, and then you have to hide all your chains, all your outrigger boards, you know. And so by the time I'm done, it was like 9:30 local time, which is like 11 over there. But no biggie. I would send them the paperwork, and then they would pay me at 2 p.m. on the next day. So that's how great it was. So I'm a big fan of factoring. I don't know, many guys don't like it for tracking. Oh, you know, you're wasting your money. But to me, it was worth it. Like a friend of mine, he had a lot of money, so he was like very tight with his money. He would kill himself before he would pay 5% to a factoring company. So he had money, so he would wait a month or 2 months. That's how brokers pay, right? Sometimes at 30 days, 45 days. And guess what? I remember 2 times he told me that the brokers screwed him over. Basically, they owed him, let's say, 10, 15 grand, and they disappeared, or they refused to pay. And it was, he had to hire a lawyer, you know. So yeah, he saved 5%, but then he lost, I don't know, 15, 20 grand, you know. So, and that's the thing, by the way, I mentioned this before. So factoring companies, what is this? Okay, accept.
Head to your pickup at 137 Red Embers Lake.
Okay, so interesting where they would send me. It's probably going somewhere real close. This freaking auto start, I hate it. So there's a button here. I probably should put some kind of a yellow sticker, you know, so that I remember. Because all it says is just says A, and there's an arrow like this, you know, like a circle, meaning auto start. Actually, I wanted to stop here. There's a beer store here. But right before I turned into the driveway, they gave me this. Oh, by the way, which reminds me, I should cancel Lyft, go offline. Okay.
Drop off updated.
Cancel Doordash and Doordash. Yes. There's nothing here now. Everything is dead. Alright, where's our passenger here? Left after the stop. Oh, left. Oh, okay. And the name is P-I-U-S. P-I-U-S. I'm not sure how do you say it? No idea. It's right past my home, which is dangerous because they pretty much take me to my home, which means that what might happen is that the destination filter will be off. You know, hey, you
roundabout and take the third exit onto Skyview Ranch Boulevard Northeast.
You reached your destination, but now it's only 5 minutes to 5, right? And I told Uber that I'm available until 5:45. Oh
exit
boy.
onto Skyview Ranch Boulevard Northeast.
I wonder where this person is going. I hope it's not something crazy like, you know, I'm telling you, like this is my buildings on the right. Sometimes
in 300 meters turn right.
it's probably going either some crazy cross-iron mills, and I cannot cancel because I have no idea where the person is going. So in this kind of weather, you know, people don't want to walk because there's a bunch of snow on the sidewalk. So maybe she'll just going, or he. Something is telling me that it's a girl. Pius. So maybe she's just going to Freshco, 2 kilometers away, you know, grocery store, or maybe McDonald's. But that's it. I'm gonna put a break after this. Otherwise, they're gonna kill me. Yeah, once I had this filter on, and for some reason they gave me somebody who was like going 30 kilometers in the opposite direction.
Turn right, then turn right. Turn right, then pick up on the left. Pick up on the left.
I know this guy. This is the guy I took to daycare. So which means that we're going close.